Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacconiana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home. Today we have an other useful mechanism that we tinkered with on the channel in the past. I have actually put this lighter in my pocket and carried it as part of my EDC rotation for a short period of time before I got distracted, left it sitting around somewhere, forgot about it, and picked it up several months later. And when I got a question from our buddy Friedrich Deal yesterday about a couple of butane lighters that we had made a video on back around that time, then I remembered that I had this one that I needed to fuel back up because when I found it, it was out of fuel, which seemed odd. It was holding its fuel very well. So we're going to fuel up this Ronson piezoelectric butane soft flame lighter. We're going to try to fill it up anyway and hope that it ignites. Say we're going to try to fill it up because I am at a little bit of a disadvantage with the adapters that I currently have. When you use these adapters, they get shaped or bent, and you could say misformed or malformed, but in actuality I think it's forming a seal around your inlet valve. So it's not really malforming so much as forming to the valve in a way. But they wear out is the point. They bend, break, and I believe that this is the number 1. Most of these quality brands of butane will come with adapters, and most lighters that I have filled that required an adapter will use either the number 1 or the number 5. And there are plenty of times that you can just put your butane can straight onto the valve, and though it may not make a perfect seal, you'll be spilling butane out all over the place while you're filling it, but enough will get in there to fill up your lighter. But of course, we would all like to have the perfect fit, not to be spraying butane everywhere. And I am a little bit more careful these days on how I bleed these valves and refill butane lighters, because I don't think it's a good idea to be breathing that gas in if you don't have to. So we're going to try to use, I did find this one lid that still had the number 5 adapter unused, and it does fit into the inlet. So we are going to take the adapter off that we had on here, and this is the one that I've been using to fuel my 2 go-to torch butane lighters that I use for heating dab straws. So I'm going to set this aside. I'll definitely want to be putting that one back on. But that one seemed to have been worn a little wide to fit inside the housing where that inlet is on this one. On this Ronson butane lighter. Said it was piezoelectric. I've got a few comments on some shorts on these lighters recently. And just to let you know right off the bat, the other lighter in that video that you asked about, Friedrich, can't remember now if I mentioned that in the beginning of this video or not. I'm sure I did now. That Friedrich asked about an update on these lighters. Well, the other one, which I can't remember the name of, and somebody else asked a question about the other day about the function of it, it didn't hold gas at all. It appeared as though it might. It gave some promise, but I can't remember which end it was leaking out of, Friedrich, but that lighter got quickly discarded. But this Ronson piezoelectric ignition, I believe from the 1980s. Somebody else made a comment on one of the shorts for this video the other day and gave me the model number. I can't remember what it was. I remember it was 5 numeric digits. But you can see that, well, I hope you can see, with the light being what it is, I'm not sure. And of course, that could always be the problem, why it would not be igniting if the piezo had failed, which I had not struck this thing a few times as I picked it up. It's very interesting. We're going to go ahead and put some fuel in this. And we've talked about piezoelectric sparks, how reliable they are, last so much longer than flint. But that when they do fail, they can't be repaired, or much more difficult to repair. So let's see if we can put some fuel in this lighter. And maybe that will give us a better idea. Yeah, let me go ahead and get this. I don't know which the best way is. I've filled so many butane lighters without adapters. I'm trying to use the adapters when I can, but like I said, they get misshapen, misformed, or just shaped and formed to other valves, and it's hard to know sometimes whether it's the adapter or the can of butane or the lighter that's giving you a problem. But anyway, we're going to try to pump some fuel into this one. And that definitely formed a good seal. I would say that number 5 is a good choice of adapter to fill this lighter. And I may just have put too much in there. It was definitely bubbling back out. And I can't remember what the adjustment is on this one. It's like this way is up, which is typical. This way is down. And I just accidentally depressed that valve there as the screwdriver slid off of the adjustment ring. You may have heard a little bit of gas escape, gas or air. But I probably should not have, especially when it felt so cold and had kind of bubbled out to begin with. I probably should have just stayed there. I definitely feel like I have caused damage to some older lighters by trying to pump butane in them, maybe too much butane in them. And this lighter's very cold. I probably should be waiting to try to ignite it either way. There was a little flame though, so I guess there is a piezo there. I just wasn't able to see it. So that at least allays my fears of the piezo having completely failed. Turn this down, all the way down, you get nothing. There we got a small flame. That was just turning it up a little. Seems pretty reliable actually. And now as soon as I say that, it's not going to light again. Maybe still a little wonky because of the gas pressure. Let that even out. Cool to room temperature, or not cool to room temperature, warm to room temperature. It was ice cold there when we first filled it up. So there you go, Friedrich. Here is this Ronson piezoelectric and an update on its performance, which I guess it just ran out of fuel after I discarded it that last time. Hopefully we get a bigger flame here once this pressure, you can hear that, it's at times not even visible, but I can hear it bouncing around. Short-lived flame. But I also wanted to let you guys know that we had been publishing videos every Saturday. You are going to be seeing this video on Saturday, but that's the last time we'll be publishing those full-length videos on a regular basis on Saturday. And we're going to make the new day Monday. So we will have a new full-length, either show and tell, demonstration, repair, maybe an other useful mechanism like this one, or an ashtray, or a pipe, or something like that. We will be publishing that full-length video every Monday morning at 8 a.m. Central. And there may be other full-length videos show up throughout the week at 8 a.m. Maybe even at other times, but you can count on one on Monday mornings, and then of course a short published each weekday, and perhaps on Saturdays also. We'll see about that. So we're going to try to publish a short 6 days a week at noon. So keep your eyes out for those. Appreciate all your engagement, the likes, the comments, the sharing, the compliments, the criticisms. I love to hear it all. And we'll do another update on this, maybe even a short update at some point throughout the week. It was igniting pretty regularly there when we first filled it. Seems as though perhaps like it's already out of fuel or something. That doesn't seem very likely. Let's pump a little bit more in there. Maybe it didn't get as much in there at the beginning as it felt like. Definitely feel coolness in my hand here. Sure if the microphone is picking up all that sound bubbling out of there. Seems to have calmed down now, and very cold to the touch again. Whoa. Now that's a little bit of the danger of working with butane lighters right there. Fortunately, no damage or anything to my hands, just a flash. I don't know if that was caused from a leak or some accumulation. Seems to have calmed down a bit. But there you go. I will try to update. I wasn't trying to make this a 15-minute long video, but I appreciate being able to get all the information out there to you guys that I wanted to about the schedule with which we will be publishing videos, and also giving Friedrich and all of you guys an update on this one, which obviously will need another update now. Until next time.